Hello friends, it's me, and today let's DIY Sonic's shoes. Let's check out. I made Sonic the strongest shoes in the world, Style Theory, from Style Theorist. Together, let's go. Let's start. Thank you.
Are there any shoes actually strong enough to withstand Sonic the Hedgehog's incredible speed? Stay tuned to find out.
Style Theory.
Hello Internet, welcome to Style Theory, the only channel willing to face off against Edna Mode as the next big designer of super powerful fashion. Way back
Hello Internet, welcome to Style Theory.
when we first launched Style Theory, we did an episode making Hulk the perfect pair of indestructible pants. And today we are setting our sights on yet another colorful character known for his iconic fashion, Sonic the Hedgehog and his sneakers. And since his new movie is coming out this month, we gotta go fast if we want to get this super speedster his perfect shoes in time. No matter which Sonic is your favorite Sonic, these crimson kicks have always held up to the incredible forces the legendary blue hedgehog puts on them. But could that happen IRL? We are going to put 3 shoes to the ultimate test of speed against our Sonic squad. So, where do these shoes need to succeed where all other shoes have failed? Going into this, we will be considering 2 likely points of failure for Sonic's perfect shoes: flight time and contact time. These are the 2 motions where most force is applied onto his shoes by his feet. Flight time is the movement of his leg from its initial swing to swinging behind his body. During his initial swing, mid-swing, and terminal swing, Sonic will be exerting force onto the shoe's uppers and laces, which help keep his foot locked into the shoe. Then there's contact time, which is the movement his leg makes from its initial contact on the ground to the moment it takes off. From initial contact through mid-stance and takeoff, those forces will be focused on his shoe's soles, or more specifically, his shoe's outsoles. This is the outer rubber part of the shoe bottom that helps cushion his landing and help him push off of the ground to keep running. These outsoles will be taking the full force of Sonic's weight against the ground with every stride, change of direction, or attempt to stop, which means we need to take a close look at the materials keeping our shoes together. So get into your
Just stop and just recognize how refreshing it is to see the Style Theorist attempt to do something in Sonic. Like, it's a very game theory, film theory video. Yeah!
starting positions theorists as we get ready, get set, gotta go fast. Let's meet our 3 contenders. Shoe number 1 is the iconic shoe, the Puma. Yes, we are starting with the shoes that were gifted to Sonic in the first movie. Puma released 5 of these babies in collaboration with Shoe Surgeon as a promotional item for this movie's release. They were based on the Puma Ferrari RSX model, with modified uppers to match the look of Sonic's iconic red and white sneakers that replaced the shoelaces with a leather strap across the top of the foot. But how strong are they? The uppers are made from 2 fabrics, leather and a nylon mesh, which is common for most running shoes. Nylon can be very strong, as we've seen in previous episodes, but a nylon mesh is typically thinner than the types used for things like climbing ropes. It's meant to be light and breathable for your foot, not to hold your body weight. That being said, it does have a high tensile strength. The tensile strength is the maximum stress you can put on a material as it stretches before it breaks, and it's usually measured in megapascals or MPa. If the forces of Sonic's body against the shoe as he runs exceeds the tensile strength of the nylon mesh or the leather, that means that shoe is headed straight for the dumpster. Nylon
Especially when Sonic is constantly running at the speed of sound.
mesh has a tensile strength of roughly 50 to 90 MPa, depending on the type of mesh used. We'll give it a fighting chance and go with the top of that range. Then you have that leather strap and leather side pieces. Using cowhide leather as our base, which is the most common shoe leather, we are looking at a tensile strength of roughly 15.3 to 37.5 MPa, which, even taking the upper end of that range, seems pretty low. To give you an idea of what I mean, cotton, your basic average t-shirt, has a tensile strength between 20 and 41 MPa when it's dry. Wet cotton can have 2 times that tensile strength. But we'll see if Puma made the right call replacing those laces with that leather strap soon enough. When it comes to the bottoms of our Pumas, these have rubber outsoles with a tensile strength of between 10 to 30 MPa, meaning that our classic running shoes' total stats look a bit like this. Sonic's actual running shoes are looking a little weak right out of the gate. When the world's gotta go fast, it's important to take time to get some rest. But good sleep can be really hard to find. If you're chronically tired like me, you are going to love our partner for this episode, Oslo Sleep Buds. If you've been watching the channel for a bit, you'll know that I'm an insomniac who struggles to fall and stay asleep. It's hard for me to shut out all of the noisy hustle and bustle of the world, which is why Oslo Sleep Buds are the MVP I did not know I needed. needed. They are built to turn down the volume on the world around you to help you sleep uninterrupted all night long. But Amy, I hear you saying, can't I just use any old earbuds to do the same thing? To that I say, do you want to be comfortable? Regular earbuds stick out from your ears, causing painful pressure on your eardrums when you try to rest against your pillow. Oslo Sleep Buds take the pain out of snuggling up with your pillow with their unique design that's made to fit flat against your ears. Plus, they come with 4 silicone wingtips to make sure that you are getting the perfect fit for your ears. So whether you want to listen to some of Oslo's original white noise or load up your favorite soundtrack, Oslo will provide you with quality audio as you drift off into dreamland. So take control of your sleep by clicking the link in our description or scan the QR code on screen now to get started. Thanks again to Oslo for partnering with us for this episode. For shoe number 2, we're going to try something a little different, something a bit stronger. These are the Innovate G-Series Terra Ultra G260s, aka the strongest shoe I could find on the market as of writing this episode. Innovate constructed this shoe with a unique graphene-enhanced rubber compound, which the manufacturer claims has the world's toughest grip. Graphene is made from a material called graphite, which is the stuff that's used for the tips of some pencils. But unlike our questionable Pumas, these shoes are not just hyping up their strength. Graphene is super strong. In fact, it is 200 times stronger than steel. We actually used it when we designed Hulk's perfect pants. Graphene is also heat resistant, meaning that besides the force, it could stand up to the friction of Sonic running around at super speed. Pure graphene has a tensile strength of 130 gigapascals, or 130,000 megapascals. That is a lot more than our Pumas. However,
I'm not sure if I'm saying that I'm old, but I can still remember the early days when graphene entered into the mainstream media. So, yay! There's a new thing called graphene. It's new. It's like, wow. And now in 2024, it's a very common thing. It's called graphene. It's like, oh, okay.
a graphene rubber band can have the same tensile strength as graphene itself, the Innovate doesn't list the percentages of rubber to graphene, meaning we need to use the other information available to find our final strength for this one. Innovate claims that these outsoles are 50% harder wearing than regular running shoes, which should mean that their rubber graphene compound can handle 50% more force than the average running shoe. This gives the Innovates a tensile strength of 45 MPa, which is significantly lower than the graphene itself, but it is our strongest sole so far. And I didn't forget about the uppers. These babies are made from Kevlar. Yes, the stuff used to make bulletproof vests. Kevlar has a tensile strength of 3,620 MPa. And hey, if it's good enough to catch a bullet, it should hopefully be good enough to stand up to Sonic even at his craziest speeds. As for the laces, while they're not listed on the actual website, we do have two likely options. First is your typical shoelace made from polyester that have a tensile strength of about 131 kilograms, which converts to about 0.001 to 8467 MPa. Which, oof, I can see why they cut the laces from the movie's design. But we do have one other option. Given that the shoes use Kevlar for its uppers, we can also use Kevlar for our laces. These have a better tensile strength, though not by much, coming in at 0.00569,372 MPa, which makes our final stats for this shoe not too shabby. Also, we can get them in red. Clearly, we've reached
Just pause the video for a while. There's a lot of numbers. A lot of numbers in this video.
peak of shoe strength with this one, haven't we, theorists? Well, hold up a minute because you're about to meet our final contender. Let me introduce you to shoe number 3, Style Theory's Custom Kicks. Yes, we are once again designing our own item to face off against the power of the Blue Blur himself. While these shoes don't physically exist yet, they are made from items that are available in the world right now. We won't be pulling in any fictional materials here. The other thing to consider here is
Elementium, vibranium!
Wait, while we could go ham and make a set of shoes out of palladium, diamond, or titanium alloys, Sonic's feet wouldn't just be uncomfortable, they'd be death traps. Especially for a guy who can't swim. Shh, don't give Eggman any ideas. Even so, that doesn't mean we can't get just a little bit experimental. For this one, we're gonna think outside the box of the common running shoe design. So far this episode, the weakest points have been the uppers. You know, those laces, leathers, and meshes. But what if we made our custom kicks all sole? So that no matter which way Sonic turns or lands, his feet are fully covered in the strongest material that we've got. Can you guess where we're going? Yes, the graphene rubber, as strong and pure as we can make it, unlike the Innovates. As we mentioned earlier, this compound has an insane tensile strength of 130,000 MPa, and it is without a doubt the strongest possible material we could use to produce a shoe that can still function as a shoe. So, what would our Style Theory custom kicks actually look like? Well, probably something close to the big red boots from Mischief, or rather the modified version people made on TikTok that turned them from tall boys into short kings. I know that's a lot of numbers to remember, but don't worry, we'll make it easy for you moving forward. So, now that we have our 3 options ready and raring to go, let's see how well they stand up to our Sonic squad. But before these shoes can make it to the big screen, they'll have to make it through our OGs, Classic and Modern Sonic. To find out how our shoes really measure up, we'll need to understand how much force each Sonic is exerting on the shoe. Now, we could try and calculate the force at each and every moment of his run, but we don't actually need to. You see, there is one moment where each Sonic would apply the most force at any given time, and that's when he stops. During deceleration, the full force of his super speed is being put onto his feet. So, how do we find out what that force is? Well, lucky for us, my sibling and theorist did a lot of the legwork for us. Aren't brothers great? But let's cover the basics in
Hi Tom! Hi the game theorist! This is a style theorist.
case you missed that episode. We converted Sonic's cannon height into pixel measurements to get a pixel to centimeter ratio, and then used that measurement to find his height relative to his game environments, so that we could see how fast he's actually moving, and more importantly, how far it takes for him to stop, which, let me tell you, was quite the range. Consistency may not be Sonic's strong suit, but maybe making smart, durable fashion choices is. To get that killer stopping force, we plugged all that information into the classic force equals energy times distance calculation, which should give us the numbers that we need. So, how do our shoes hold up against our OG Sonic duo? Starting with Classic Sonic, or as Game Theory put it, Short Sonic, the stopping force for Classic Sonic was 641 newtons, which is not the measurement that we need, but don't worry, theorists, this is actually the easiest math we've done this entire episode. 1 newton equals 1 Pascal, so 641 newtons equals 641 Pascals.
Voila! Ta-da!
Which brings Classic Sonic's total force to 0.000641 MPa. Dang, that's actually not that much. That is a pass for every one of our shoes. Fascinating. Maybe the answer is a lot simpler than we thought. Moving down the line, our next Sonic is the tall boy, aka Modern Sonic. He comes in at a stopping force of 2,385 newtons, or 0.00235585 MPa. Still well below our tensile strength benchmarks. Dang, I really thought at least one shoe would have failed. Now, realistically, over time, all of these shoes would wear down, so even if they can survive one stop, it's likely Sonic will need to replace them regularly. But for today,
It is inevitable. It's time. It is wear and tear. It is unfortunate but inevitable.
you can consider our first 2 Sonics defeated by some pretty basic shoes. But as we know, Sonic in the games is moving a lot slower than he claims. So what would happen if these Sonics were actually able to roll around at the speed of sound like the song says? Well, we'd be looking at something closer to 29,842
Theoretical Sonic.
newtons, or 0.024 MPa, which would actually take one of our shoes out of the running. Sorry, Innovates, but you made one crucial error: the shoelaces.
Sorry.
Again, I have to give it up to Puma for making this smart call and dropping the laces from their movie design. Clearly, someone on that team is a theorist. But while that force may snap our shoelaces and our bones, it's not tearing apart the rest of our shoes. Yet, that still leaves one big question. What about about the new guy, the big star, the CG man himself, Movie Sonic. We started off this episode hoping to see if we could find or design shoes that would survive the movies. So let's see if we actually did. While we calculated the speed for this version over on Film Theory, we didn't try to find out his stopping force. In that episode,
Hey, the film theorists! I really like this episode in which it touched on the friends, the sister episodes, the style theorists, the game theorists, the film theorists. I like them all. I really like them all because I reacted to every single video.
we found that Sonic was able to run 1,100 miles from Deer Lodge, Montana to the Pacific Ocean in just 4 seconds, putting his top speed at 990,000 miles per hour, or Mach 1290.3. You know, just a wee bit faster than Game Sonic. So all we need now is his stopping distance, which is not gonna be easy. In the movie, we don't actually see his feet like we did in the games. However, there is one thing we can use instead: the passenger side door of Tom's truck. Get ready for some classic theorist overthinking. Tom's truck in the first Sonic movie is a 2016...
Wait, this is supposed to be done by the film theorists, not the style theorists. Hey!
Toyota Tacoma 4x4. And according to Toyota, it has a length of 212.3 inches. At first, I started by overlaying a picture of the door over the same image of the Toyota from the movie to estimate the door's length. But I wanted to make sure that this measurement was as accurate as I could make it, because the smallest change at this speed could impact our final measurements to a huge extent. After enlisting some friends to help me find an actual 2016 Toyota Tacoma 4x4 out here in the wilds of California and measuring the length of its passenger side door, we got a final measurement of 43 inches or 1.09 meters. Using that clip from the movie and estimating that it would take Sonic a door's length to come to a full stop from 990,000 miles per hour, we can use the same calculation as we did for the game Sonics to find his stopping force. Plugging in all of our numbers, you get a monstrous 3,427,687.39 megajoules of energy. Oh boy. Run that through our force equals energy times distance equation, and we learn that the stopping force of Sonic's shoes when he decelerates from Mach 1290.3 in just 1.09 meters is 3,025,747.13 megapascals. That is destroying, obliterating each and every one of our shoes, including our custom kicks made from the strongest material possible. To put all of that into perspective, the SR-71 Blackbird holds the record for the world's fastest aircraft at 2,193.2 miles per hour. 2,193.2! And it weighs in at 27,215.54 kilograms, which is 777.58 times the weight of Sonic. If we attached our custom kicks to the bottom of that aircraft and had it come to a stop from its top speed in that same distance of a Toyota Tacoma 4x4 passenger door, our custom kicks would still survive. Yes, maybe they would be in bad shape, but they would still be there. The fact is, there just isn't a single shoe.
I think the word bad shape is a bit misleading.
Worthy material known today that could withstand the forces of movie Sonic. To do that, we would have to find a shoe that could withstand the force of the US's largest non-nuclear bomb 74 times over.
MOAB, mother of all bombs.
And that's before you remember that movie Sonic can now go supersonic. R.I.P.
And can also fly, so yeah.
The world, and our shoes. But hey, that's just a theory. A style theory. Keep looking sharp. Speaking of killer shoes, smack that box on the screen to see something wild. And I'll see you next Saturday morning.
Well, thank you so much. Hope to see you in my next video. Thank you. Subscribe. But hey, that's just a theory. A style theory. Keep looking sharp. And I hope hope to see you all in my next video. Thank you so much. Subscribe. Thank you. But truly, I thank you so much. I really touched my heart. I'm thankful. I am grateful for your support. Thank you all. Thank you all so much.